Welcome back to the Habs podcast, guys. Welcome to our part two of our bracket challenge. If you guys saw us, we did the part one in the video, so you can go watch that. The first round
Yeah.
predictions, and now we're on to second round and conference final and Stanley Cup final. So,
It's gonna get
who do
spicy.
you got? Yeah, who do you got in your second round? You said I think Vegas and Winnipeg.
Exactly. Oh, this is gonna be if this happens, it's gonna be a really good series. Like I said, I think Vegas is a team with a lot of experience and a great defense and a great offense, like really deep. Like on paper, I swear to God, on paper, Vegas is the best team. Like it's just a
Yeah,
matter of seeing if they got the best chemistry also. But Winnipeg, the only edge they might have in that series is goaltending. It would be a long series, I bet. But have really, I love this Winnipeg team, man. Toffoli, Monahan, Connor, all those guys. I think that
yeah,
definitely would go to seven. Both teams are veterans. I
yeah.
think
And
at the end,
I don't know if
Vegas
you,
can pull off and win game
I don't
seven.
know. Yeah, and I don't know if you agree with me, but this Winnipeg team kind of looks similar to the 2021 Habs team.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
totally agree because like they have a great goaltender and great
yeah,
bottom six and an all right defense. Not like the best in the league, but just all right. So yeah, I totally
yeah,
agree.
yeah,
I don't know if I'm like overestimating Vegas or not because like we have to remember they were a second wildcard team, but I just love the team on paper and I love the fact like the defending champs and they have the experience. But I don't know, maybe I'm overestimating them. What do you think? Who's going to win the Vegas Winnipeg series?
I think it's gonna be Winnipeg, man. I love their depth. I love Connor Hellebuck. I think he's a leader himself. He's the X factor for this team. And I got but I think it's gonna go into Game 7. So I got the Canucks in 7.
Could totally see this happen. What do you think about the Canucks?
Not the Canucks.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the
What do you
Canucks,
think
but it's
about
the
Canucks
Jets. Yeah,
against
I got.
Oilers?
Ooh, this is gonna be a good series. But I just think that Edmonton defense, man, I don't know if it could handle the Canucks defense. Um, I'm gonna go with the Canucks in 6.
Canucks in six. Oof, this is such a good question, man. I'm so not sure.
Yeah, because you got McDavid and Draisaitl too, man. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Oilers only because they've been in the playoffs more recently than the Canucks, so a little bit more experience. I'm gonna go with them because also of the or this of their because of their star power. I think their defense like maybe it's not as good as the Canucks, but it's really close. Maybe like the defensive depth is better than the Canucks, but obviously they don't got the Hughes or Hronik, but they still have Bouchard. Coleman can make a nice pairing, and then if Darnell Nurse can become a shutdown D, it would help too, and maybe Skinner can do the work. But I have a feeling like this Edmonton team, like they want to win. They're tired of losing. Like we've heard it when they lost to Vegas in the second round last year. They were like, "We're tired of losing." McDavid was pissed. Draisaitl was mad. Like I think they're in for business this year. Anyways, now let's go to
Nice.
West matchups. Who do you think is gonna win between Florida and Boston? Those are the two teams you got.
I'm gonna go with the Florida Panthers here in 6, and the reason is I think the X factor here is gonna be Alexander Barkov. I think he's gonna go off in the series. I don't know why. I just think he's gonna do a great job versus the top lines of Boston, and I think the Florida. I like Kachuk's grit, all of that. Sam Reinhart. I just think they have a better defense overall. I'm gonna go with the Florida Panthers in 6.
Same. I'm gonna go with the Florida Panthers. I think they're better than Boston. They have a like more energetic team. They have more offensive power and more offensive depth too. I think Boston has a lot of offensive depth, but bro, just look at the guys in Florida like Reinhardt,
Yeah.
Kachuk can clutch up. Borkov is good defensively. Carter Verhage, Sam Bennett, like they just have so many pieces, man, on offense. And also, I like the fact the team is greedy too, gritty and a good defensive system and Bobrovsky. I think they're a bit better than the Bruins. The Bruins started the season really well under Jim Montgomery, and like they were able to repeat their success. But like man, towards the end of the season, it didn't really go as well. I don't think this is the same Boston team as last year. I think Florida's gonna pull through.
Yeah. So who do you got in the series of Rangers versus the Hurricanes?
I've got the Hurricanes, man. Maybe that's a surprise because the Rangers are the President Trophy winners. But like I said, I feel like the Hurricanes are in for business this year. Like this is maybe their last chance. like their best chance. I mean, not their last, but their best probably, because like a lot of guys are going to leave in the off season, and I feel like they have a better defense than the Rangers on paper. The only issue, I think, also the offense, it's pretty close because the Hurricanes don't even have that bad of an offense. They got a good balance, but maybe the difference in the series, maybe it's going to be the goaltending is going to be in favor of New York. But I still think the Canes, just by their defense, they're going to be able to shut down the Rangers and win this series. But it's going to go to seven for sure. What about you?
I got the Carolina Hurricanes too, man, in six. Like you said, man, I like their depth. I like Nemec. I like Aho. I like Gedzo. I like Kuznetsov. I just like their
Oh
offensive
yeah, Kuznetsov too.
players.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and this would be a rematch of last year's conference final if it's Florida Carolina.
Yep. So
S-
yeah, who you got?
In the conference final,
Yeah,
uh, I'm gonna go with Vegas. Like this is insane. Like this is like probably such a hot take, but
Vegas.
yeah, this is a hot take. I swear to God, like a second wildcard team. I think people are not gonna like this at all. I think people are gonna call me crazy, but I love their team on paper. Like they're just the best team on paper, and it's not only that. Like they have guys that can also play defense, like defensive forwards, like Barbashev, Carlson, Stevenson's gonna get back, Erdl, Stone, Eichel, like that. That is some crazy depth. Like Amazio, he's a good third liner too. And also their defense is stacked too, like Theodore. And like if everything clicks together for Vegas, I honestly think it can happen. But what about you? Like you got the Jets and the Canucks and
Oh,
all Canadian
yeah,
conference final.
yeah. Canadian. Yeah. So a Canadian team is going to go in the finals in my bracket. And listen, I got the Winnipeg Jets, man. I don't know why. I just like this team. I like Connor Hellebuck. If Connor Hellebuck is not injured, I got the Winnipeg Jets going to the finals
Wow.
and in game six. Yeah,
Imagine the
game six.
excitement in Winnipeg if that happens. But
Yeah,
what do you
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
about
I got
Florida
Winnipeg in.
Carolina now?
Ooh, this is gonna be a good series. Listen, I don't know if it's gonna happen. A team that's gonna go to the finals back to back, like Florida. I'm gonna go with the Florida Panthers again, man.
Yeah,
No, no, no. I got the Hurricanes. The
the
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes. All right, yeah.
Yeah, I got
This is such a close series. Like you're not even sure.
yeah,
So your Stanley Cup final
yeah,
is Winnipeg Carolina. All right. So
yeah.
me also, I've got Florida Carolina, but unlike you, I'm gonna go with Florida. And guess what? I predict a rematch of the 2023 Stanley Cup final. Like since like the last week of the season, I figured there's a chance that happens. I think both teams, like they have the experience of last year, and they prove they can be good teams, that they can be gritty, that they can go really far mentally. And I think Florida would edge out Carolina because like they did last year, and they beat them 4-0. So it could like absolutely happen again. They would have home ice advantage. I love their team, man. I love their system. I think Paul Morris is a great coach. So this is my final. But what is this prediction of your final between Winnipeg and Carolina, man? This is
Listen,
this is it, man.
this is this is very weird, like a final matchup.
Yeah,
But
but if, I wouldn't even be surprised, man. It's possible.
I'm gonna go with the Carolina Hurricanes. I just feel like in the finals, Canadian teams are cursed. Um, I'm gonna go with
This is
Carolina in
totally
seven.
true. Okay, so now you have to predict the total numbers of goals scored in the Stanley Cup final. So we're gonna need to use the maths here. So you have
Um,
already think how many games like is the final gonna be, and then think about how many goals did you
six.
do.
I'm gonna go six. I'm gonna go Carolina in six, and I think there's gonna be a goal total of 16 or 17.
All right, so a pretty defensive final. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah,
Alabama in the Kings defense.
yeah.
Yeah. So for my final, hmm. Oh boy, yeah, you're right. It's tough. It's tough because these are two great teams. I'm gonna go with Vegas. They're going back to back.
Nice, man. I see.
Like this
That's
is
I see
insane.
that
Like
happen.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, man. But I love their team. Like it's I always think like what's the perfect team on paper and grit and defense and Bruce Cassidy. Which of these teams is the closest to that? I think it's the Vegas Golden Knights, man. And I don't know how they finish wildcard too. I think it's because of the
Yeah,
injuries and like maybe they're tired and there's just I feel like Vegas in the regular season they've been like just bring on the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like they didn't really
yeah,
care about the regular
yeah.
season. They're
Yeah,
gonna step it to the
and
next level,
also,
I think.
yeah. And also in my bracket, even though I said Carolina, I wouldn't be surprised if the Florida Panthers are winning the Stanley Cup also,
Oh yeah,
because I also like their coach. So yeah, it
yeah,
was
and they
pretty
really
tough to
base their
choose there,
team
but
on grit and all those stuff. Like that could be a difference.
yeah, Yeah, so yeah, honestly, to me, is the Stanley Cup winners is either going to be, in my opinion, Winnipeg, Carolina, or the Florida Panthers.
Could totally see that happen. Now I just need to predict the total numbers of goals scored in the Stanley Cup Finals. Okay, so I think this series. I think I don't know why. It's not. Okay, I'm going in six. I'm going in six. And for the
Nice.
goals, should be like approximately like 6 goals per game. 6 times 5, 30 goals.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching our bracket challenge. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want more hockey content. We're gonna be reviewing the playoffs actually every week, like every series, every game after, every week, like we usually upload. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Subscribe to this channel,
yeah,
like the video, share with your friends.
yeah. Shout out to everyone, guys. Thank you so much for the support.